Well, this is my first vlog of 2020, so Happy New Year if I haven't said that already. I've come up to Dartmoor today, up to a place called Grimspound. It's fairly near Princetown, in between Princetown and Ashburton. It's an old hut circle up on Dartmoor. It's the forecast is supposed to be clear tonight, but it's changeable at the moment. Got a few showers coming through every now and then, but it's looking okay. Got loads of gaps, and I can see the sun, which is good. So we've got a little bit of a climb to get up here, and hopefully, it should be a good shoot. So I brought the 5.4 stuff today, which I'm lugging up this hill. It's a little bit windy, which I'm a bit concerned about, but only in the fact that it's a bit of a pain to compose the shot with a dart cloth while it's windy. But I think once I'm composed and I've got the shot, it's not going to be too bad. I'm shooting with Fuji Velvia. Got 6 sheets of Velvia today. I've also got some Provia as well, but I'm not sure if I'll use that. It depends on the light conditions. So before I get completely out of breath, I'm going to stop filming and get a little bit further up. Well, that's a shorter walk than I remembered. I haven't been here since probably the late 90s, I think the last time I came and shot here with a film camera on 35mm film. Oh, excuse me, I'm out of breath. So yeah, we've reached the edge of the stone circle. You can see behind me, this is just the start of it here. It goes all the way around. You can see in the top there. So yeah, it's quite a big stone circle, and then amongst this big circle is little settlements, which are photogenic all by themselves. But what I'm planning to do is to go up. There's a pathway that leads up in the background now, you can just see. I'm planning to go up there. There's some nice stones leading up through, almost like a jigsaw of stones. So that's the plan, to use them in the foreground, and then this big hut circle in the lower ground then. So the wind's picking up, unfortunately, so I have to see how things go. Now, as I'm walking up, I'm constantly checking the what's happening with the weather in the distance. Lots of broken clouds still. A few rain clouds coming across by the looks of it. But yeah, there's some good gaps still. The wind, it is quite windy, but it's dropped a little bit. What I'm hoping is sometimes when it gets nearer to sunset, you get a lull in the wind. But as you can see, if I turn the camera around a minute, you can just see now the gaps on the horizon. So there is some sun sort of poking down through. So who knows? It's always a gamble, but yeah, the sun's in a good position. As you can see in the background there, you can just about start to see the shape of the circle behind me. The higher up I get, the more that becomes more prominent, that shape. My partner's just up in the distance, I think. She's walked up the path to test the windiness. So she's not waving frantically, so hopefully it should be okay. So nearly there. Okay, we've made it up to the top. It's not that far actually, but I'm exhausted already. I don't know why. I haven't walked for quite a while, not this sort of steep. What a worst, shut up. Anyway, in behind me here, there's my viewpoint leading down to the stones. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera around and actually show you the viewpoint that I've got. So here we go, there's my foreground stone leading up to the circle, and that hill in the distance. I'm going to go probably for an upright composition on the 4x5, so I'll only have a thin slither of that sky at the top. So I'm assuming I'm going to need a grad polarizer, because the sun's off to the right hand side of me over in the distance there, which you can't see very well. But yeah, it's fairly low sunlight, so I'm going to wait for a little bit longer for it to drop a little bit further, and then hopefully it'll give this a nice glow. Then all these stones will be picked out, and the stone circle in the background. Okay, the wind is a pain. It's anybody that's shot large format will know that trying to compose the shot with a dark cloth is quite tricky. I've just managed to do it now. There's a bit of a gap in the cloud, so I'm going to carry on and shoot before the sun disappears again. And then I'm going to wait for the light to drop a bit more, a nice sort of warm glow then. But I need to get a couple of frames in the bag, because this is quite frustrating today with this wind. Right, I've just shot two frames of Provia 100 speed film. So I've got a polarizer on the front and a grad just over that thin slither of sky. So my base readings were 1/4 of a second, and obviously to add in the factor for the polarizer as well, I added another 2 stops onto that, so that brought me to a second. So I've done a second exposure, and then I've slightly underexposed and done a 1/2 second. Now I've got another 2 frames of Provia left, but the sun's disappeared at the moment, so I'm just going to wait for it to pop out again, and then I'll take those 2 frames, and then I'm going to wait a little bit longer till it drops a little bit more, hopefully to use the Velvia. Well, I've got some stubborn cloud now, so I'm just waiting for that to clear. It's quite a big band of cloud, which doesn't look very promising at the moment. Probably got another hour or so left yet before actual sunset, so hopefully it'll shift out the way and get another couple of frames in. Yeah, just got to sit and wait now. A little bit of contemplation now. I'm sat here waiting for this light. Yeah, a few issues with the wind. It's not helping. It's very frustrating trying to get the shot that you want. I ideally wanted a couple of different compositions, but I think I'm going to be fighting in a minute for light. It's roughly about half an hour now till sunset, and it's still, the sun's still behind a bank of clouds, so I might get lucky, I might not. So I'm just hoping it just kind of clear. But while I'm sat here, I'm just going to think about the vlogging side of things as well. I've got this new system, so I'm trying to get used to that at the same time. It's kind of like a double whammy today. Could be worse. It could be tipping down the rain. Well, not all is well. I've been waiting for this light to clear. As you can see on the horizon, it's disappeared. Very frustrating. So I've only managed to get 2 frames of Provia 100. Didn't finish the other 2 frames because the lights just disappeared, and the Velvia didn't even come out the bag, unfortunately. It's one of those things, I know. It's happened to me countless times like this before, but it's still frustrating. And it's still, you still feel like crap. You think, why have I bothered coming up here? I did another shoot this morning, I must admit, that didn't go too well. But it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you can't sort of control the weather. I mean, that's obvious. But like I say, let's have a look at these pictures that I did take. Hopefully, I've salvaged something from this shoot, so it hasn't been a complete waste of time. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to start packing up now. It's the light's gone basically, so I'm going to pack up. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. I really appreciate your time viewing this and your comments and stuff like that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, the next one will be a bit more chirpy. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.